Hi, this is Amy Campbell with BOOktober, and since it's our last BOOktober for this year at least, we don't know what we're doing next year because no one knows what they're doing next year. But I wanted to talk to you about some things that you can get on Hoopla Digital. So if you have your library card and you have your PIN, you can sign up for Hoopla Digital if you haven't done that yet. And if you haven't, there's some instructions following this video, so go ahead and sign up for Hoopla after the video if you need help with that. So Hoopla has comics, music, ebooks, audiobooks, movies. Did I say music already? Has music. So it has all these great things for kids, adults, anything in between. So starting off with comics, which is my favorite thing to use Hoopla for, we have a comic book club. So we do that on Facebook Messenger once a month. If you would like that, message Bertha Williams Library Facebook and we'll add you to the chat group. So in the past we read Lock and Key, which is a horror story by Joe Hill, and he happens to be Stephen King's son, so he's got some credentials there and he's good on his own. So that takes a house that has a whole bunch of different keys that do different things, and there's like some real cool supernatural elements, and I'm really looking forward to reading more on that. I've only read the first volume so far. And then Snow, Glass, Apples is another one another comic book I can recommend. That's written by Neil Gaiman, and it's a horror retelling of the Snow White story. So like really good. The artwork on that is beautiful as well. Music right now, Hoopla does have specific Halloween playlists. I've been listening to the 50 classic horror film themes, because you can listen to it without any words and like while you're reading ghost stories and stuff, or just have it in the background for like a little spooky feel. Books, they of course have classics like Frankenstein and Dracula, totally seasonally appropriate. They're also relatively short for classics, so if you're looking for kind of a quick read but something that's going to take you, a couple of days, Dracula and Frankenstein are really good places to start. More modern is Bird Box, which if you hadn't watched the Netflix film, that's the book it's based on. And then if you just want some short fiction, just use the search bar and type in ghost stories or scary stories, and you'll get plenty of short fiction, just to pick and choose which ones you want to read. There's also a bunch of collection of short stories, just type in short stories. So movies, I love a scary movie around this time of year, really any time of year, in varying qualities of goodness or badness, because sometimes you like a really bad scary movie just for the camp factor. That's just me. I'm gonna try and recommend you ones that I think will be good. So Rear Window is a good one. That is based on a short story by an author whose name I can't remember right now, but this is the Christopher Reeve version. So if you remember the old Superman movies, that's who's in this one. There was a remake with Johnny Depp, and of course both of these movies were originally based on the Hitchcock film. So it's been remade a couple times, so it must be good, right? I don't know. Alright, then you also have a classic, or a modern classic really, Blair Witch. If you have not seen the Blair Witch Project yet, why not? It's 2020. What do you have to lose? Watch the Blair Witch Project. There's House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price. That is a black and white. It is spooky. It's not gonna be like your jump out type of scare. It is a little bit dated, but I think it still holds up. It's a classic horror film. It's worth watching. Please watch House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price. It's good. And then you have Children of the Corn by Stephen King. So based on one of his novels, so that's book related. And then finally, I ended up rewatching Cat's Eye by Stephen King. So it's a collection of 3 stories that all have one cat in them, so they're sort of interconnected but also their own separate stories. I had not watched this movie since I was like 10 years old, so there was a lot of it I didn't remember, but I did enjoy watching it again as an adult. The music has not held up well. It's got that very synth pop music going on, and it's very, very dated, almost hilariously so. The first story in that collection is Quitters Incorporated. It's about a man who wants to stop smoking, and he signs up for this program that's really, really aggressive. So knowing Stephen King, there's a little murder involved. There is some simulated cat torture. I did look up to make sure it wasn't actual torture. They use like air puffs to get the cat to jump instead of like. So the simulated torture is they electrocute the cat. They don't actually it's air puffs. So annoying, but it doesn't hurt the cat. The second one is The Ledge, which is about a man who makes a wager with another guy, and they have to go around. He has to go around a ledge and make it back, and he gets a bunch of money and some other stuff. And then the final one is General, which is the final story and kind of really what you're supposed to be getting to. Like that's the main, and the one that I remember most from when I was a kid. So that story is about a young girl who finds and adopts a cat, and her dad makes a joke that, cats steal the breath. But it turns out it's actually this little troll monster thing, and the cat saves the girl. It's not that big a secret. It's 35 years old, so no spoilers here. But anyways, that story was just as charming as I remembered it, and of course I have a soft spot for cats, so yeah, I enjoyed rewatching that. There are some little Easter eggs, so if you're a big Stephen King fan, if you know a lot of his work, he does hide some Easter eggs, like there's a Christine reference and a Cujo reference and a couple of others that are hidden throughout those films. So that was fun. Yeah, no, it's worth rewatching. It's a little cheesy at this point. The troll special effects do pretty well, considering this is over 30 years ago and special effects were not super great back then. So it's worth watching for that. You do get 10 borrows per month. So once the month resets, you get 10 more borrows. You get movies for 2 days, music for a week, and ebooks and comic books and audiobooks you get for 21 days. So start borrowing some stuff, and stay tuned for the end of this to see how to sign up with Hoopla. And if you need your pen, give us a call. Okay, you're going to go to hoopladigital.com, and then you're going to type in your email. You'll do that twice just to make sure you've typed it in correctly. You're going to select a password between 8 and 40 characters, so you can use numbers, letters, capital letters, lowercase, as well as special characters. All right, you're going to select Montgomery City County Public Library. It should pop up automatically based on your IP address, but if for whatever reason, just use the search bar. Now type in your library card number. It's going to start with 212-8200. And I didn't type in the full library card number because this is just a sample. And then you're going to type in your PIN. If you don't have your PIN, you can contact any of the branches that you're comfortable with. And finally, you are going to log in using the email you signed up with. And your password. And when you're done, you can either hit enter or press login. All right, and now you are signed in, and now you can do a search. So we're going to be searching for Cat's Eye. And this one, because it's Stephen King's Cat's Eye, you're going to have to scroll down just a little bit. And boom, there it is. It's going to look a lot like Netflix as far as the controls. So you'll borrow that title. And then you'll hit play if you want to watch it right away. And you see your pause buttons, your volume, that kind of thing. You see me hit pause there. You've got your fonts, your background colors, and your closed captionings if you want those. You can do full screen. And then if you have any problems with the video, you can let Hoopla know. And then you're back at your borrowed.